Hi and welcome. Raju wrote a letter. Raju was writing a letter. Raju had written a letter. Raju had been writing a letter. And all these four sentences have same subject, that is Raju, and object, that is a letter. And what is changing? The form of a verb is changed in all four sentences. And this changed form of a verb will serve four different purposes, which means it is served in four different contexts. It is used in four different contexts, and all four different contexts are different. They are not same. So, and obviously all the four sentences belong to only one tense, that is past tense, since the form of a verb is in past form. So in this video you are going to learn about past tense and kinds of past tense and how these kinds of past tense is used to serve different purposes in language. Shall we start? But before we start, if you haven't subscribed my channel, I'd be really very happy if you please click on the subscription bell like buttons and do share the video so that I will come up with many this kind of videos in the future. And if you're ready, let's start. Welcome back. Past tense is divided into four aspects. The first one is past simple tense, the second one is past continuous tense, third one is past perfect tense, and the fourth one is past perfect continuous tense. And now let us try to know about each tense and how, when it is used. The first one is simple past tense. It is also called past indefinite tense. The structure of a sentence in simple past tense is subject plus verb to, that is second form of the verb, that is past form of the verb. The sentences will be like this: I played, we played, you played, he, she, it played, they played. So here played is a second form of the verb, that is past form of a verb. So when this particular tense, simple past tense, is used, so it is used for all the completed actions in the past. So whatever actions completed in the past till yesterday, we use simple past tense. And there are certain words which are used in this tense. So they are called keywords. Those keywords are last week, last month, last year, yesterday, in 1947, in 1942, ago, and one more important keyword, it's time. It's a phrase actually. Whenever we use this phrase, it's time, it is a must to use simple past tense after it's time. So which means verb to, past form of a verb, should be used after its time. Let us see some examples of simple past tense. The first one is I watched a movie yesterday. So this action was completed yesterday. So yesterday is a past. So yesterday is a keyword, right? So it's in simple past tense. And the next one is we wrote the exam last year. So this exam was completed last year, not this year. So it was a past action. So it is in simple past tense. And the next one, she went home a week ago. A week ago. So week ago in the past, not this week, last week only she went. So it's in simple past tense. And then similar way, they lived in Hyderabad for 10 years. So they lived in Hyderabad for 10 years. Now they are not living. For 10 years they lived and they left. So they completed. So it's in simple past tense. And the next one is it's time we went to college. So it's time is a phrase, and after that we went to college. Not it's time we are going to college. No, that's wrong. Whenever we use it's time phrase, there should be verb to, second form of a verb, that is past form of a verb. That is the reason here we say it's time we went to college, not we are going to college. So it's time we went to college is the right expression in the simple past tense. So simple past tense is used for all the completed actions in the past, and the structure is very simple, that is the subject and verb to, past form of a verb. The second tense is past continuous tense. It is also called past progressive tense, and it is also called past imperfect tense. The structure of a sentence in this tense is subject plus was or were plus verb 1 plus ing form, and was is used for all the singular subjects and were is used for all the plural subjects. If you see the structures, I was playing, we were playing, you were playing, you were playing, he was playing, she was playing, they were playing. So these are all the basic structures of a sentence in past continuous tense. So this particular tense is used for ongoing actions in the past, actions which were taking place at a particular time in the past. Right now they are not taking place, but they were taking place at a particular time in the past. They were continuing at a particular time in the past. So for such kind of situations we use past continuous tense, and there are certain keywords which are used in this particular tense. They are at this time yesterday, at this time last Sunday, at this time then, at 10 p.m. last Sunday, at 6 p.m. yesterday, at that moment yesterday. So such kind of keywords are used in this past continuous tense. And if you take them in examples, I was watching TV at this time yesterday. So today you are talking about yesterday activity. At that time yesterday you were watching TV. Right now you are not doing, right? So in the similar manner, we were sleeping at this time then we were sleeping, not now. So that was the past activity. You were continuing at this time then. So in the next sentence, she was writing an exam at 10 a.m. last Monday. So you are talking this Monday that she was writing an exam at this time last Monday. So that was completed. She was continuing at this time, but now she is not. In a similar manner, the kids were reading at that moment last week. At that moment they were reading, kids were reading, not right now. In a similar manner, they were working at 10 p.m. last night. Last night they were working at 10 p.m., not today's night. So past continuous tense is used to talk about all these kind of activities which were happening sometime in the past. And there is one more use of past continuous tense. So past continuous tense is used to talk about temporary actions in the past and actions that began sometime in the back in the past and continuing at the given point of time in the past. So they began at some time in the past and continued up to some time in the past at a given time. So for such kind of situations we use past continuous tense. And there are certain keywords like that week, that day, between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So such kind of keywords are used in past continuous tense, and let us try to see them in examples. I was teaching grammar that week. I am talking about that activity this week. I taught grammar. I was teaching entire week. So entire week that activity continued and I stopped. And this week I am not continuing. So that situation we have to use past continuous tense. And the next sentence, we were sleeping that day between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. we were sleeping on Sunday, not here. So at that particular time that activity continued up to certain extent and it ended there itself. In a similar manner, she was chatting yesterday between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. So from 7 to 11 she was chatting yesterday. So the activity started at 7, ended at 11. It continued those many hours. So such situation we use past continuous tense. In a similar manner, they were building a bridge that year. The entire year that year they were building, not this year. They started 1 year ago, they continued last year, they completed it. So for such kind of situations we use past continuous tense. And there is one more usage of past continuous tense. If there are two actions that happened in the past tense, for example, an action was taking place when some other action comes in between. or takes place or took place. So when such kind of situation is there and there are two actions, so simple past tense is used for completed actions and past continuous tense is used for ongoing actions, for continuing actions. That is very, very important. Simple past for completed actions, past continuous for ongoing actions, the actions which were continuing at that point of time. And there are two keywords here, while and when. Let us see an example. I was reading a book when Ravi came to my room yesterday. So here there are two verbs, was reading, came. I was reading, so activity of reading was continuing. At that time Ravi came, so he already came, so that action completed. So that's the reason that completed action was written in simple past tense. So subject Ravi plus verb to, came. But here I was reading, so it is in past continuous tense, subject plus was plus verb plus ing form. So that's the reason this action was completed, came. So this action was going on. While I was reading, he came. So this is the situation we have to understand. In the second sentence, while we were going to school, we saw an accident. So while we were going, accident took place. We saw, verb to. So it is in simple past tense. While we were going, it is in past continuous tense. In a similar manner, lights went off while we were reading. So lights went off while we were reading. While we were reading, past continuous tense, went off, verb to. So it's a simple past tense. So in a similar manner, the girl fell down while she was cycling. Fell down, simple past tense, while she was cycling, past continuous tense. So past continuous tense is used for all ongoing actions in the past for some time, for a fixed time. And the structure of a sentence in past continuous tense is subject plus was or were plus verb 1 plus ing form. The third tense is past perfect tense. The structure of a sentence in past perfect tense is subject plus had plus verb 3. That is third form of a verb. That is past form of a verb. And had is used for all the subjects. And the examples are I had played, we had played, you had played, you had played, he had played, she had played, it had played, they had played. So these are all the basic structures in past perfect tense. And past perfect tense is used to talk about an action that took place before a particular time or given point of time. Before a particular time or given point of time in the past. And there are certain keywords like by this time yesterday, by 11 a.m. yesterday, by last July, by last Sunday, by last Friday, by 2020 or by 2010. So these are all the keywords that are used in past perfect tense. Not only that, and one more important point is that time phrases should be preceded by the preposition by or before. What are time phrases? By this time. So this time, yesterday, is a phrase. It's a time phrase and it is preceded by. So that is how we have to understand. And if you see them examples, they had reached here by 4 p.m. yesterday. So by 4 p.m. they had reached already. And today you are talking at 5 p.m. So that is how we have to understand. In the next sentence, she had vacated that room before this time yesterday. So you are talking about this particular activity. So she had vacated that particular room before this time. So by this time she already completed that activity. That's the reason you are saying that she had vacated that room before this time yesterday. Yesterday by this time she already completed that activity. In the next sentence, he had built that house by 2018. So you are talking in 2020 that he had already built that house by 2018. So he completed the activity of building. And the next sentence, we had completed the exams by last Friday. You are talking on Sunday that you had completed exams by last Friday. So the action was already completed in the past. by a fixed time, by a particular point of time. And there is one more usage of this particular tense, past perfect tense, which is very, very important. When two actions happened, occurred in the past, the first action, which means the first occurred action, should be indicated by past perfect tense, whereas the second occurred, which means the second happened action, should be indicated by simple past tense. So in this context we use two tenses. The first one is past perfect tense, the second one is simple past tense. That is, the first completed action will be written in past perfect tense, the second completed action will be written in simple past tense. Let us see them in examples. It had got dark when we went there yesterday. So here, it had got dark. Had got is a past perfect structure. We went is a simple past tense. So there are two actions. We went there. So going there is one activity. Getting dark is another activity. Which happened first? Got dark. Getting dark happened. That's the reason it had got dark is written in past perfect tense. Whereas the second happened action is going there. That is, we went there. So that's the reason it is written in simple past tense. In a similar manner, the train had left when we reached the station. So here, had left. So before they came to the station, the train had already left. So left, the train leaving happened first. After that only they came. That's the reason the train had left is written in past perfect tense. They came is written in simple past tense. In a similar manner, the minister had come before the meeting began. So before the meeting began. So began is a simple past tense. So before that only minister came. That's the reason minister had come. So it is written in past perfect tense. In a similar manner, he came here after we had taken dinner. So after we had taken dinner, you have already completed taking dinner, then he came. So second completed action is came. So that's the reason he came is written in simple past tense, and taking dinner is the first activity. That's the reason it is written in past perfect tense, that is after we had taken dinner. So past perfect tense is used to talk about the actions that are completed before first completed actions in the past. And the structure of a sentence in the past perfect tense is subject plus had plus verb 3, that is past participle of a verb. The fourth one is past perfect continuous tense. It is also called a past perfect progressive tense. The structure of a sentence in past perfect continuous tense is subject plus had plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form, and had is used for all the subjects. And if you see the basic sentences, I had been playing, we had been playing, you had been playing, you had been playing, he, she, it had been playing, they had been playing. These are all the basic structures of this tense. So this past perfect continuous tense is used to talk about the actions which began in the past, continued up to some point of time in the past, and was possible to continue further also in the past. And for such kind of actions we use past perfect continuous tense. And there are certain keywords like by yesterday, by last January, by last Friday, by last Sunday, by last Monday. These are all the key terms that are used in past perfect continuous tense. Let us take them in some examples. I had been teaching English for 15 years by last Sunday. So by last Sunday, I completed teaching English for 15 years. So I started the activity 15 years ago. I continued it for 15 years and I ended after 15 years by last Sunday. By last Sunday, it is 15 years. I may continue now also. But I completed 15 years by last Sunday, and this is the 16th year. And that is the situation that for that we have to use past perfect continuous tense. And the next sentence, we had been living in Hyderabad for 20 years by yesterday. By yesterday, we completed living 20 years in Hyderabad. Today also we are living. But by yesterday, 20 years completed. and that is the situation. And the next sentence, she had been dancing for 30 years by last summer, and by last summer she completed 30 years. This year also she is dancing, but by last summer she completed 30 years of duration. And the next sentence, we had been working here for 40 years by last Monday. So 40 years completed by last Monday. So past perfect continuous tense is used for all the actions that began some point of time in the past, continued up to some point of time in the past, and maybe continue further also. For such kind of situations, we use past perfect continuous tense. And the structure of a sentence in past perfect continuous tense is subject plus had plus been plus verb 1 plus ing form. So when I say Raju wrote a letter, which means he wrote a letter yesterday, not today. So yesterday completed. But if I say Raju was writing letter at this time yesterday, which means he was writing letter at this time at 10 a.m. yesterday. He was doing that particular work at this particular time. Whereas if I say Raju had written letter by 2 p.m. So you are talking about that activity today at 4 p.m. but he had completed that activity by 3 p.m. yesterday. Whereas if you say Raju had been writing a letter 10 times by this time yesterday. So by this time he had finished writing 10 times. Now that is the context. So all these 4 contexts are different, and all these 4 sentences help us to understand 4 different contexts, exactly how they have to be understood. So this video might have helped you to understand past tense and kinds of past tense, and how a past tense is used to talk about all the completed actions of the past in the present. And you will learn about the future tense in the next upcoming video. And if you really like this video, don't forget to click on the subscription bell like buttons, and do share the video so that I can come up with many this kind of videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching the entire video.